Good morning, everybody, and welcome to some StarCraft action here for the TING Korean group. Although, don't worry, you may have been confused thinking this was GSL with Ryung, Hero, aLive, and Biol, but I don't blame you, because this is a pretty fantastic group that we have available. First off, good morning, Zombie Grub. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I see you have your kitty cat. She's like, I'm happy. I don't need anything else in the world. I'm doing okay. I've actually been up. It's weird. I didn't sleep much, but I have a surprising amount of energy, and I'm not sure what that's from. My cat sat on me, and you know the story to this, but for those who don't have me on Skype, don't. Because I sent like 5 people pictures of my cat pinning me down, and I was forced to take a nap. But anyways, like I said, for some reason, lots of energy. Maybe that'll wear off. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. But we are going to be getting into the first best of 3 here in a moment. If you haven't seen on Twitter, we've posted the match list. It is going to be Ryung versus aLive, so a TvT to start the broadcast. Then Biol versus Hero. Then the losers match and the winners match. And you know what? We even have a beautiful little bracket set up here that you can take a look at. Ooh, but it does take away from Zombie Grub's cat. So let's go back.
Guys, don't hear that.
It's getting a little bit of a butt scratch there. Okay, I see you've already made the lobby. Thank you kindly. And of course, we do have Crank. He'll be joining us tonight to cast in Korean. So if you guys want to see some of the casting stylings of him, and I believe Alicia, I think it's Trevi, on the other channel, by all means, please do check it out.
Yep. Cat, stop going on my arm. I have to move my... Cats, am I right?
Right. All right, well, I think what's great about this group, before we get into it, by the way, is I want to say like Hero... It's funny, Hero and Biol are probably the better players a lot of people would look at in the group, but, and this is the spoiler alert warning, put your fingers in your ears, la 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 la, but it was actually Hero and Ryung who recently got out of their GSL group. Biol died, aLive died in theirs, so we've got a GSL group that is like half winners, half losers, and maybe they can redeem themselves here for TING.
Yeah, I guess so. Are we ready to go, or...?
We are ready to go as soon as they are. First map, Newkirk Precinct. Let's get into this here in just a moment. But I think we have all the alert stuff set up. I was having some troubles with the on-stream alerts, so if those aren't working today, I'm going to go ahead and blame Streamlabs, because they're no longer Twitch alerts for whatever reason. And, yeah, I think Twitch alerts has a better ring to it, personally.
I guess it's somewhere amongst that Korean, he said, be right back.
Yeah, I just went and came back. I'm actually going to run off to grab a bottle of water real quick, since I forgot to do that for the cast. So you can start. I'll just be back in a sec.
Okay. Thank you to Laser SCQ for the 25-month resub. BTTV supply drop. Flies away. I don't think you actually did fly away. Well, today is a very, very Korean morning, guys. Like, not only do we have the Korean group with the Korean cast, all the awesome Koreans also decided to stream today around this hour, so I have like 3 Twitch streams up on the other monitor. Yeah,
Twitch streams, who, Quay? I'm going to guess Byun. I didn't really hear most of that.
Byun, Innovation, and Stats.
Very excited, because Stats is going to be playing in the wildcard group, which we have coming up on the 23rd or something like that. Full disclosure, guys, for Stats' group, we ran into some very almost impossible to deal with scheduling conflicts, and he doesn't want to show builds publicly before GSL, and then he also doesn't want to play, obviously, during the same day as GSL. So what we're going to do is have, I think it's the 21st, they're going to play their TING group. We're going to secretly collect the replays. Nobody will have those except for us. 22nd will be the GSL group, and then 23rd, I think, is when we're going to be broadcasting that group, albeit all from replays.
I don't know why Ryung just brought up TING, but okay.
Use a little cute Carbot probe heart. But okay, it looks like everyone is finally here and ready, so let's hop into it. First game of the day, first best of 3 for the TING Open of Season 3. Did you get that resub, by the way, while I was gone?
I did get that resub while you were gone.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
This is why I keep you around, Zombie Group. You're so good at your job.
Thank you. It's amazing too, because I was distracted with Apollo. So
that actually that's a feat of
I know
accomplishments right there.
Not because he was being cute. Actually, he's being a butt. I might throw him out of my room. He's just being such a butt.
So we are going to get into the game. In the bottom left, to start off the group, we have the blue Terran. He plays in literally everything we do. It's aLive.
Just about. In the bottom right is the red Terran. He is Ryung.
Now, Ryung is already sending an SCV out, Zombie Grub, and it's not quite taking the conventional path across the map.
Oh my god. I don't think we see many proxy rocks on Newkirk Precinct.
Or even out of Ryung, if we're going to be honest. He's been a lot more of a straightforward player. So I like this. There is a bit of concern here for Ryung. He actually ducked out of one of our tournaments. I think it was the BTSL, because he was worried about showing any games prior to the GSL. I don't know if that's changed his opinion, having gotten through his group and now only having the round of 8 to deal with. So we might actually see a cheesier Ryung than average, just because it might be a matter of not trying to give away too many real builds. I love the guy to death, but I absolutely understand wanting to maybe save the builds for GSL. It's got a bit of a bigger prize pool.
Well, does he know his opponent? Or all the groups aren't finished, are they? I don't actually know. Oh, we got bits coming in. Yeah, that's true. Leoman with 1,000 bits.
Damn, nice way to start off the broadcast. Thank you, mate. So it's time to watch Spiffy Rifkin. That's right.
Yeah. I actually had so much sleep. I could have gotten up at like 4 in the morning, like 2 hours ago, basically. But I was like, nah, it's way too cold. But I also could have gotten dressed, and I didn't. So pajamas it is.
My fatigue is not... Like, the warmth of the bed far outweighs my fatigue when it comes to the factor of getting out of bed.
Yeah, exactly. But I realized that most of the time I don't want to do something, it's because I'm cold, which is actually like a huge problem. Because I have this heater now, right? Well, and if I'm like, oh, I can just turn on the heater, I'm like so much more inclined to do things.
If you ever need someone to help warm you up, you can go pay for it.
Yeah. Not even they will take my money.
Oh. All right, so we do have a factory coming up, not a third Reaper, or third Max Reapers or anything. Again, for Ryung to proxy a lot of things, there is the factor of maybe these are going to be some throwaway games from tonight, maybe not. But Ryung actually, like, this is kind of a strong build if it catches aLive without a Cyclone.
Oh my god, it's so, god, yeah, because aLive went for the Hellion on a Cyclone, why?
It's going to cause, like, the Reapers alone are going to cause chaos. I mean, once upon a time, obviously we know that Hellions were used to be what cleans up the Reapers, but as we see here, not quite the case. A couple of SCVs died, nothing too crazy, but it is worth noting that Ryung's factory is considerably late. Like, the starport is finishing before the factory finishes. Yeah,
that's certainly true. I mean, this would definitely ensure you would win if they, like, 1-Racks expanded, although Proxy Reapers usually does that too. But yeah, if aLive deals with the Reapers A-OK, which so far he has, but not, you know, it's not guaranteed. His Cyclone production will be that much faster, and it could be bad news for Ryung.
Yeah, kind of scary here. One of the Reapers getting really low. About to eat that grenade. Okay, Comet Drugs kicks in, but falls off. Cyclone finishes up, and this is starting to get bad for Ryung.
Yeah, he lost 2 Reapers, and aLive lost nothing in that engagement. That was crucially bad, basically, as aLive, man. Like, he's not got a Cyclone, so I think he's okay.
I'm all blushing and flustered. Beyond hosted us, apparently. Never really get hosts because of our awful streaming hours. So, dude, thank you, I guess. Anyways, the Reapers are quite numerous, but as we can see here, the grenades aren't outweighing the damage of that Cyclone. Ryung actually might be best off. Where's his SCVs? Oh, he sent them home to mine. He would have been better off repairing that Cyclone. GG. Messy first game.
Yeah, that really had the potential, too. Like, with the Hellion, if it was a Cyclone, I actually think it's just kind of lame. But with the Hellion instead of the Cyclone, I thought maybe Ryung could snowball, but nope.
Well, I shot Beyond a message to say thanking him for the hosts is really kindly appreciated. We do have a brand new sub heading us up as we get out of game. Chinook joining us on the stream, and then nice username, our YouTube guy, the man, the myth, the legend, hits us up with a 13-month resub as well. So thank you, Joey, for everything that you do, man. But as mentioned, maybe you're a multilingual speaker who's a little more favorable towards Korean. I do want to notice that while I'm grateful that we had Beyond host this, Crank is also covering these matches in Korean on his channel. If you guys want to go find that, I think it's just twitch.tv/crank. Ryung.
No Sugo.
No Sugo.
No respectful actor.
Well,
I actually don't even know how to explain that.
That was that game was odd.
It was.
To say the least.
Yeah. aLive and Ryung are clearly friends. Otherwise, it'd be pretty damn rude of him to say that.
Actually, what I find really interesting is we know a little bit about the cliques of the Koreans and who's friends with who, but it does seem like all the Terrans do stick together a lot more than everybody else. Like, you've got bros, solar stats, right? You got patience friends with everybody. But, like, all of the Terrans see past each other's differences to be bros in Korea. And that's not even a...
Rifkin.
Wait, are you saying I'm your friend? Did I achieve that status?
Yes, because you're a Terran. Although you are a dirty mech player, so...
Yeah, I'm like the friend you don't... You're like, there's no one else to hang out with. I guess we can... Alright, we are getting into game number 2. He leads the series 1-0 to start off the best of 3. It's going to be the red Terran aLive.
On the bottom right is the blue Terran. He is Ryung.
Alright, so again, I really would have to actually ask Ryung what his thoughts are on whether he wants to hide builds or go full force. The first game looked like a bit of a giveaway, and it was silly, but it was also a nice risk.
It's really what the Reaper proxies come down to, is like, if they kill 2 of your Reapers and you kill nothing of theirs, like, Ryung should know too, like, he's the one that messed up. Something went wrong there. The Hellion doesn't really... The Hellion provides, like, the littlest, tiniest bit of range when you have those Reapers, and I guess technically a little bit of splash, but it is actually supposed to be not too much of a counter to Reapers, especially if there's more than, like, 3 of them.
Totally forgot. We're on Korea. We can use the GSL version of Abyssal Reef if players request it later, too.
I'm guessing BL will request that.
BL has been pretty consistent about wanting.
Yeah, but I have to be able to find it, which is still proven to be difficult.
Yeah, oh, and I guess, by the way, for those who did just join the stream, hello. Again, welcome from Beyond's. But we do have Hero, like Root Gaming's Hero, ex-CJ and his Hero, versus Biol after this. So these are the first 2 preliminary best of 3s of this group stage. And it is very much the GSL format that you guys are most likely accustomed to seeing. And if it's your first time here on the channel, I hope you enjoy your stay. But Reaper for Reaper, going to pass each other in the middle of the map, and that's no awkward scuffle here. As far as builds go, we do have aLive once again going with the Hellion first. Ryung's in this as well. I'm surprised nobody's really rushing that Cyclone.
I'm a little less surprised for Ryung, I guess, because he is also adding on a command center. He took his guys off of gas specifically so he would have enough minerals, yet also have kind of a safe build, too. Because I think Abyssal Reef is actually the more common proxy map than Newkirk Precinct, but also just to maybe get that little bit of an edge above aLive.
I would say maybe common's the weird word. It's a lot more viable, I'd say, for sure. But, oh, that's a nice pick off on the Reaper, and the guts go flying everywhere. That'll give him a little bit of peace of mind. I don't know if he's planning to go for the attack just yet. There is a lot of damage 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers can do. We got a Raven coming out of aLive back at home as well. And I'm curious to see if he'll go for 2. Innovation has really made this a staple thing to do, and a lot of folks are trying to mimic it now. Yeah,
that's certainly true. It's coming a lot on ladder as well. aLive goes for a high ground CC. I guess he never really got a scout, so that actually is kind of... It's kind of sucky because Ryung did go for his command center on the low ground after factory. It was already ahead, and now it's even further ahead. But aLive, so it, maybe he adds on a second Raven, maybe he adds on a Viking, I don't know. But, like, the Raven actually had, like, a lot of damage potential. And certainly save him from anything, like, defensive-wise. I don't think Ryung can actually do anything. Except trying to set his Reapers up here to scout.
And he is going for another Raven, by the way. I like this. I think the potential of the Ravens is cool, but... Oddly enough, we've been seeing some players be really passive with them, and I think what works great is the way Innovation uses Ravens, ends up doing a lot with auto-turret harass and just poking and prodding around the opponent's base. So we'll see if aLive decides to play a little bit more defensive, or if he wants to send the Ravens out once they're prepped and good to go. But we do have an attack out of Ryung on the way, and I really like this Viking. I think he was definitely anticipating the fact that there'd be a Raven. Maybe not 2, but at least 1 will get taken out, possibly.
Again, this is a problem of aLive. Just, he's not on the low ground defending and abusing that other ramp. He is stuck still in his main base. Well, 2 Ravens should be enough, even with the Cyclone and the And the Viking coming out here?
Yeah, all he has to do is buy time until the tank is out. It's kind of what that comes down to. The Viking was essential as well for the high ground vision, more so than the actual damage it brings. This is going to let him see up the ramp to shoot, but he's also going to now see there's a tank out in play. Granted, it did get blasted back by a grenade, but looks like aLive will stabilize for now.
Still no CC on the low ground. Going to lose 1 or 2 SCVs maybe to these Reapers. They're not too useful anymore. I mean, it's past that stage of early game harassment.
Oh. You know, if these had gotten another 2 grenades off, that could have been a lot of very serious damage. Front of the base, though, looks like Tank has secured it. aLive's a little bit later to the expansion party, but nobody's really too far behind. And I've just realized, excuse me, guys, I forgot I was playing on the Korean server to turn off that. I mean, I don't play StarCraft, etc.
Oh, you play League of Legends.
Yeah, you didn't see anything. Don't look over here.
Yep. So aLive is down in this game still technically. I mean, he's down a lot of workers and not too far up in army supply. I mean, the double Ravens, if they get full energy, it would be significant. But he's also down in stim timing and +1.
Look at that income. Like, I knew Ryung was ahead. I didn't realize how much he had spiked ahead. Like almost 800 minerals at a point over aLive. That's your extra production kicking in earlier. That's the second upgrade you can afford. I mean, the +1 timing is going to favor Ryung should there be a fight in the early game.
Yeah. I mean, this might even out to something that is, you know, aLive's on the defensive, but he weathers the storm type deal, and it's all good. But it means that he shouldn't have a lot of potential on his attacks. You know, he does have the army supply lead, but that's like about to kick back in favor of Ryung as his economy gets boosted, and he does have the extra 2 barracks, and he does start his combat shields faster.
I really like both of them spreading Marines around the map too. They're really not meant to do much other than sacrifice for a scout and. Yeah, Ryung's not going to get dropped easily anytime soon by aLive, and aLive's going to see any middle pushes down the center of the map. But, oh, well, +1 may or may not be a factor, as we do have Ryung moving out. I do love the combat shield starting up right away. This is an upgrade that can actually be game-defining, given the right circumstances, and having that extra 10 health goes a long way. So this is all of everything Ryung's been afforded through the openers, but it's not enough to really like guarantee him like he's not gonna win the game because he got combat shields a little bit quicker. He might actually not even get to fight with it, all things considered.
I thought aLive saw that. Uh-oh.
I thought he did too. Maybe he did, and the choice to move out was like a base trade. He is going all in with this, and it's not like a couple of medevacs moving. Corpse went flying across the middle of the map. Of course it did. Double Ravens on the right side as well. I really think aLive has more power with his drops, funny enough. Mostly because of the Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens are definitely something to talk about here, but if they just have to use the auto turrets on maybe not much at all, because there's actually not much here.
They could actually physically wall off the ramp with auto turrets.
This is going to be really helpful. They're not going to be able to take out the tank, but the tanks are taking out the other tanks.
Well,
tanks on tanks.
Auto turret hype.
There we go.
Goes a long way. Middle of the map. On the other side, though, we do have the tanks now moving in, and Ryung is racing. He lost the drops in the main, so he's got a little bit less pushing power. And aLive, of course, is already on top of production. But combat shields, you're right, can go a long way. aLive's not going to have it. Ryung will.
Yeah, he blasted away the tech lab on the front right there. So, I mean, that's something to talk about. But the Ravens, you know, they even have to use all their energies. They're still available. I would give this one to aLive, and a lot of it has to do with the Ravens, but also just in general, he came out ahead in the base trades even without the Ravens. He has more tanks and more Marines.
Ryung actually, I don't believe, can push up that ramp. The second the Marines and the SCVs get involved in the fight, that tank is in a very nice position, and Ryung has to go for an awful funnel, as we can see here. Just, oh, God.
He's going to lose medevacs. This is just... It's actually not winnable anymore. His armor supply is way too low. GG.
GG. Wow, okay, so aLive with a very quick 2-0. Not too bad.
And not too shabby at all. It's too bad, too. Ryung had the better start to that mid game, but base trades, man.
Yeah, it was, again, like, I'm really curious about Ryung's state of mind coming into this, but falling down to the loser's bracket, he's not out of this yet. These are still just the preliminary matches as we are fresh into the tournament today, so we are going to be getting into Hero versus Biol next. The way we tend to do this is usually like ad breaks between series, and I didn't expect the series to be over so quickly, so we are going to go to our first break of the day. Just to let you guys know a little bit about the sponsors for this tournament, TING. We are doing an offline finals, which is going to be great, and I do want to bring up, there is some possible contention with folks like Ryung and others still in contests for GSL. You might be wondering, like, well, what happens if Stats, or what happens if Ryung make it to the finals of GSL, make it to the finals of TING? Unfortunately, I don't believe there's a universe out there where they pick to play an R tournament over GSL. If that's the case, we have plans in place for backups and replacing the players. But for a lot of them, it might be like really playing it safe. You compete in this in case you get knocked out of GSL. Then you still have another big tournament to look forward to. And of course, for those who don't know, California, San Jose is the destination at the Corsair headquarters for the finals. We're going to be flying the top 4 players out to play live. It's going to be on our dollar. Ting's going to pay for the hotel. So it is not a bad fallback if you get knocked out of GSL, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Ting makes all this possible, guys. So make sure to check out bttv.ting.com, just like down there. If you live in the United States, it's a U.S. mobile phone service, and they're looking to save you some cash each month with your phone bills. Also, thank you to Lou Saber for the new sub during that game. Glad to have you on board. But a word from our sponsors, and we'll see you guys shortly.